Well, hey there, thinkers. Welcome back to Critical Hit. My name is Est, and you've all heard by now Suicide Squad is basically on life support, grasping for relevance. And it's not pretty. This game is a full-blown train wreck, yet somehow they're still throwing DLC after DLC at it, hoping that we'll all just magically forget that every single one has crashed and burned. And get this, the DLC seems tailor-made for people who barely know which end of the controller to hold. But, I digress. Now, in what I guess is supposed to be a grand farewell, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is trotting out Deathstroke and Batman for a last hurrah. Because obviously, that's how you end a game that should have started with these iconic characters if they wanted any chance at success. But hey, who am I to question their genius brain logic? So now Rocksteady, yes, that same Rocksteady that somehow botched Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, is reportedly considering a Batman Arkham Asylum remake. Because of course, yes, that's exactly what we needed. A studio that went from Arkham greatness to dumpster fire territory, taking another swing at their only real success. Which is brilliant, because if their recent track record is any indicator, we can all look forward to Batman doing fetch quests, bloated multiplayer modes, and more microtransactions than punches. So thank you, Rocksteady. Really looking forward to seeing you ruin the game that put you on the map in the first place. So, BioWare, the studio that once gave us Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect, has now brought us Dragon Age The Veilguard. And all I can say is, whatever BioWare is now, it sure isn't BioWare anymore. Like, we all remember what BioWare used to be. Remember back when it was synonymous with quality storytelling and unforgettable characters? But that BioWare is a relic from nearly a decade ago, left in the dust, and it pains me to think that this new incarnation is now meddling with Mass Effect 5. I mean, seriously? It's the same story over at Rocksteady. This isn't the Rocksteady that gave us the legendary Arkham games. No. They're just the ones who fumbled with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I'm just supposed to be excited about them remaking Arkham? Like, come on. Like, why would I trust them with that when they've already shown that they can't make anything remotely close to their former glory? However, I have a few things to say here, but before I do, we have a small request. If you are new here, consider hitting the subscribe button, smashing that like, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. We would greatly appreciate this, since this will help us appease those pesky YouTube algorithm gods. So, we thank you. Now, let me give you our thoughts on this, and let's get into this article from That Park Place. So, word on the street is that Rocksteady and Warner Brothers might actually be thinking about remaking Batman Arkham Asylum after the dumpster fire that was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I mean, yeah, it makes sense if you're grasping for quick, easy cash after that financial train wreck. But honestly, who do they think is going to buy this? Who is out there itching for a remake from Rocksteady of all studios? Because let's be real here, gamers aren't exactly lining up to throw their trust or money at Rocksteady after they've shown us who they really are. And they thought that they could just somehow pull off a remake of Arkham Asylum that'll actually make gamers happy? Like, that's a stretch. Well, it looks like Warner Brothers Games and Rocksteady are scrambling to pull out all the stops after Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League face-planted both financially and creatively. Now, in what reeks of a desperate attempt to salvage some goodwill, rumors have it that they're eyeing a remake of Batman Arkham Asylum. Because if you can't come up with anything new, why not just rehash something that worked before? Now, according to YouTuber Vera Dark, Rocksteady is reportedly tossing in Deathstroke and the real Batman, because, the one that fans really care about, into Suicide Squad for the last 2 seasons. It's as if they're hoping a sprinkle of fan favorites will somehow make people forget what a mess the game has been. But honestly, too little too late, Rocksteady. Warner Brothers has even hinted they'd rather pour their energy into DC franchises, and of course, Batman tops the list, which feels like an inferred omission. They have no clue what else to do. And well, honestly, I can't for the life of me see how any of this is going to drag people back into this game for the long haul. Like, seriously, who's going to suddenly care after all this time? People have already checked out. So why would they start with Season 6 when the first 5 were a complete disaster? Like, right now, they're stuck in Season 4. And guess what they're doing? They're trotting out yet another woke-ass character named Jinx. And of course, doing some ridiculous race swap of a classic character with actual legacy. I mean, just brilliant. And even if they throw in Deathstroke for season 5, wow, that's great. That'll pull in what, maybe 200 to 300 people if they're lucky? Like the Joker DLC was supposed to be the next big thing, remember? Yeah, that brought people back too, right before they bounce straight out. They'll peek right in, get disappointed, and then leave again. That's it, that's all. It's a revolving door of apathy. Well, I mean, at least Batman's gonna drag in a crowd, sure. He'll probably bring in more players than Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been in its entire sad, pitiful lifespan. But guess what? They're gonna be bouncing faster than a bad sequel, because who in their right mind wants to play in a ghost town of a game? Yeah, I agree. Nobody wants to hang out in a dead game, and that's exactly what it is. However, I will give credit where credit is due. They really stuck with it, even though it's a financial dumpster fire. They decided to just keep bleeding money, and honestly, I have to give them some weird twisted props for that. Like, they didn't just bail like Sony did. No, they went full throttle into the whole "we're still developing it" disaster. Like, you would think it's a bold move, but really, it's more like doubling down on bad decisions. As if losing money for years is somehow a badge of honor. So, bravo, you're out here acting like you're a revolutionary for keeping the game alive, that no one is playing, and that costs more to keep running than it makes in actual content. But go ahead, keep the dream alive. The people over at Warner Brothers might have convinced you that this is some kind of brilliant strategy, but really, you're just losing money with a flair. So congratulations on sticking it out for 6 seasons of financial failure. You're truly an inspiration. See, of course, let's just drop that the same sources who apparently predicted layoffs months ago, because who doesn't have those super accurate insider sources, right? Well, they are now claiming that a remake of Arkham Asylum is totally happening, and it might even include continuing the Arkhamverse with the Origins voice cast, because clearly that's a hot take nobody saw coming. But wait, there's more. These mysterious sources also mentioned that the gang recently reunited to do Arkham Shadows with camouflage. How convenient. Totally sounds like the Arkhamverse is just getting started, doesn't it? Or maybe it's just a bit of a hopeful fan speculation with a side of insider gossip. Either way, it's a wild ride. Now, throwing Batman into the mix might reel in a few extra players, but unfortunately, it's not going to save this sinking ship of a game. This game is destined for the grave, and I'm pretty sure that the developers had the brilliant idea of using Batman as a last-ditch cash grab. Let's throw in the Dark Knight as a DLC, milk whatever money we can from the remaining few before we shut down the servers and pretend it was all part of the plan. But let's not kid ourselves here. None of this is going to fix what's broken. And deep down, they definitely know it. See, here we go, another rumor about Rocksteady and Batman. Like, this isn't new. Back in September, Nick casually dropped the news that the studio was supposedly working on a Batman game. I mean, not sure whose dream this is, but I hear Rocksteady's back at it. Oh, and let's not forget Sony, who's probably busy with their usual money hat antics, trying to get in on the action. I mean, they've basically been telling everyone, make more single-player Batman games. Because, surprise, surprise, Sony admitted they plan on releasing at least one massive multiplayer experience every year. So yeah, you can bet your Batmobile that Batman's going to be one of those. And let's not ignore the fact that Warner Brothers and Rocksteady thought it'd be a great idea to butcher the Arkham franchise with a live service version. Brilliant, right? Now they've got to live with that massive fail. And now Hogwarts Legacy is getting a sequel, which is not really shocking there. I'm sure they're just hoping it will be some magical cash cow to cover the disastrous hole left by Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which, let's face it, is a flaming wreck. But here's the thing, it looks like a lot of people in the gaming industry are finally starting to wake up to reality. And it's about time, right? I mean, sure, not everyone's on the same page. There are still some out there doubling down on their idiocy. But at least there's signs of improvement. Like you've got executives actually realizing that they've messed up, and I'm totally here for it. Let's just hope the trend continues, and we keep calling it the nonsense when we see it. So here we go again, another colossal failure of epic proportions that they might learn from. I mean, who knows, right? Maybe, just maybe, they'll figure out how to get back the magic that made the Arkham games actually worth playing. But considering Rocksteady's recent track record, because, spoiler, it's not great, and the fact that they've done absolutely nothing to earn any of our trust, I'm not exactly holding my breath for them to pull off a proper Arkham remake. At this point, I'm more likely to see pigs fly than see them fix this mess. However, those are my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And hey, before you go, subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. As always, this is Est, and I'm signing off now. So I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!